Hello, welcome to the seventh and the final part in this series on how to build your very own basic interpreter in Python programming language. So this video will implement a driver allowing us to add some new lines to the buffer, like entering the line, entering the code corresponding to that line, hit enter, and the buffer gets populated so that you can just append new lines there, like edit existing lines by providing the line number and just altering the source code. No matter how you change it, whatever you typed in the new part it will replace whatever was there already. Also want to make sure we can save our work and that we can load our existing basic source code from the file. So without further ado, let's get started. So I just want to open my basic file here and go into the very bottom. So I don't want this run anymore. So here, what I want to do, I want to say os.clear, os system and clear. Now, if you're on Windows, instead of clear command, you don't have clear on Windows, you just say CLS, which stands for clear screen. But I'm Alex, so I'm using the clear command here. Just to make sure this is going to work, I want to import the OS module, so that's quite important, otherwise it's not going to work. And here I do provide the big while loop, so I can simply say while true. So this is the main loop, literally. So the line, this is the user input, is equal to, so prompt the user with this, like prompt. Now let's say if line equals to quit, we want to break out from this loop, right? And then we say elif line is equal to run, we want to run the program that is already stored within the buffer, and if there is nothing, it just does nothing. Elif line is equal to new. In this case, just say buffer is equal to the empty dictionary to erase whatever source code we've added there. Now elif line is equal to load. So in this case, we want to load a file from disk. So try and accept. So accept, we just print failed to load file, and that's fairly enough. All right. So here, do the following thing. So file name. So we'll prompt the user one more time to provide the file name. So just say input and the file name, and yeah, now I say with open and the file name. So we're reading as file. First we want to make sure that the buffer has been cleared. So once the buffer is cleared, we say for line in f.read, so read in the file, and then we split what we read by the new lines, and after this another try except. So except we just path and try following stuff. So num, which is the line number, so we try to say to turn into the integer line dot split, and we split this by an empty space, and the first element within the array, which is hopefully the line number, and then the source is equal to the same thing, but so say line dot split like this, and starting from the first element, so we skip the line number and up to the very end, right? And also we need to make sure that we do join this with the white spaces, right? And here I can simply say buffer indexed by the number is equal to source. That's it. Okay, the next thing is save. So elif line is equal to save. In this case, same stuff, so try accept, and we just print failed to save file. Okay, now here again, file name equals to input, so prompting the user one more time, so file name, so that he specifies the file name. Okay, once he did this, we say with open and file name want to write to the file stream as file. Now for num and the line in buffer items, so we literally loop over the lines within the buffer are stored in our program. We simply want to say f.write and stringify the number, and then plus, and the space, and then plus, and the line itself, and plus the new line by the very end, right? So that's pretty much all about it. We may also want to list whatever is available within the line buffer. So if it's equal to list, and here I can just do the simple one-liner. So I just want to print, and I want to print the num and the line, and here for num line in buffer items. So that's pretty standard way to iterate over the contents of the Python dictionary, so hopefully that makes sense, right? So what else do we want? So let's say elif line is equal to clear. So let's say user wants to clear the screen. In this case, I just say os.system, and again on Windows you just say cls. I'm on Linux, I say clear. That's the operating system command to clear the screen. And last but not least, we want to actually append what we've just typed to the buffer. So interactive modes of, right? So else. And let me just make some space here. So try accept, because something may go wrong. So if something goes wrong, we just want to execute the line without specifying the line number. In this case, this would be line number 0 and the line. So yeah, the idea that we might encounter two scenarios. So the first scenario, we just do not want to execute the line on the fly. We want first to append this to the buffer. And another scenario, if we do not specify the line number, in this case, this means that we do want to execute the line on the fly. Let's say print followed by expression, and we just use it as a calculator. That's it. So, all right. Now that being said, we want to say the line num. So passing the line number, trying to convert to integer whatever goes within the line, split it by the empty space and the very first element, very similar to what we've been doing when storing the files, literally. Now I want to say, so if line num is less than the len of the buffer. So why this is needed, you might be wondering, because the line numbers do not actually represent like the length of the buffer, because the line number is not going from 0 to whatever, but like some random 10, 20, but some random like 10, 20, 30 and so on. So we just need to distinguish between those lines already exist within the buffer and those don't yet exist there. So in this case, I just want to say buffer index by the line num, right, is going to be equal to line. So here we literally replace the existing line within the buffer with a newly created one, and otherwise I just say buffer index by the line num is going to be equal to join by the empty space and join and line dot split, and going from the first element, from the second element, sorry, up to the very end. So literally, again, the same thing we've been doing for storing the lines to the file. So if I did everything properly, this should now work, and we should already be capable of inputting lines and also writing our buffer to file and reading file and reading whatever is available within the file to the buffer. So let's test it. And Python 3 and basic Py. So let's say I just want to execute the line on the fly. So I say hello and some expression. Okay, it does. Then I want to list the program. So we already have the program in the buffer. We've provided this within the previous tutorial. So let's try to save this, and file name, let's call it count.bus. Okay, now let's say new and list. Nothing there. Now let's clear. So again, list, nothing in the buffer. Now I want to say load, and the file name count.bus, and again list, and we got it, and run, and we got the output. Great. So clear. Now what else left? Just try to specify the lines manually, right? So I say new, clear, list, nothing there. So let's say 10 print hello world, and 20 let count equals to 0, and 30 say print count. So literally type in this count program again, but in the interactive mode now. So and type the count, and 40 let count equals count plus 1, and 50 if count is less than 10. Then go to line number 30, and 60 print all done. So that's clear, and let's list. Okay, we got the program in the buffer, which is good news, and now just run it, and we got the output. Okay guys, so this is it from my side, and I hope you've enjoyed following this tutorial. Well, at the very least, I've enjoyed doing this tutorial. This is really sort of interesting thing. This is something I would like to follow, like, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago when I just started my programming stuff. And yeah, because usually when you see some tutorial, it involves some sophisticated things like object-oriented programming, and because of those unnecessary complications, you may not be capable of seeing the very gist of what, say, the algorithm is all about. So when you strip down all the unnecessary complications, you can focus the very gist of the algorithms of what the program is actually about to be doing. So that's my approach. I do value the didactic approach more than literally anything else. So if you've enjoyed the series, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you find this anyhow useful, if you want to make some donations, you can do a one-time donation via PayPal, or if you want to subscribe for like on a monthly basis, you can use Patreon. So whatever support is really appreciated. Now that being said, this is it from my side. Thanks for watching and cheers.